Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, visual and audio elements I pull from the videos that I watch. And today we're coming back to Pentatonix and their cover of Mad World. Originally by Tears for Fears, this song came out in 1982. It was originally supposed to be a B-side, and the record company said, no, this could be a single all on its own. It reached number 3 on the UK charts, and it kind of skyrocketed from there. I just glanced to check my facts. It is, in fact, gold, certified gold, and, you know, extremely successful, obviously. But while I was looking up the facts and making sure that I had my details correct, I came across a quote from Roland Orzabal, who wrote it when he was 19 on an acoustic guitar. And I saved this because I just thought this was such a fantastic quote. He said, and I quote, "That came when I lived above a pizza restaurant in Bath, and I could look out onto the centre of the city. Not that Bath is very mad. I should have called it a bourgeois world." Which I very much enjoy. But I love it when people have these recollections of when they wrote songs. I think it's so interesting because the mindset of a composer or a writer at the time that they put something down on paper is so critical, I think, to how that thing ends up being. Anyway, this very, very famous song, I didn't hear the original, well, maybe I did. Let me rephrase that. I didn't consciously hear the original first. The first time I am ever aware of having sat and listened to it for any length of time was actually when I think it was Gears of War 3, or one of the Gears of War games was coming out, and there was a really eerie trailer of the main character running through the streets seen from above. I remember this very vividly, or at least that shot from the trailer. You'd see them running from above intercut with shots of their feet on the ground and stuff like this. And this is an extremely violent video game, and yet it was scored with Mad World. The Gary Jules and Michael Andrews version, not the original. But I just thought it was such a wonderfully haunting song and great counterpoint to the tone of the video game. They've done that before. They did a great one with a Chopin Prelude and Halo. There was an era where video game adverts were really creative, and this was one of them. And it kind of set me onto that. I know the Gary Jules version also became very famous through Donnie Darko. It was used for the, in fact, I think it was written for the soundtrack to that movie. I might be handing in some kind of card here, but I never got it. I bounced off that movie really hard, and so I don't remember the song being in it. I obviously saw it a long time ago. But yeah, it's obviously got a lot of fame from there. And of course, the original is just such a brilliant piece of music. And I'm really excited to see what Pentatonix do with it. Because I have a feeling this is so far up their street. And I'm excited for seeing their iteration. So yeah, great song, great group. Keen to see what happens. So welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works, I watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top, but I will then go back and watch it through a second time, this time pausing, interrupting, and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard and the foreknowledge of having seen it the one time before. Please do hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would care to support me, you can do so by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving me a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very, very gratefully received. Apologies if anyone's done that very recently and I don't mention it in this video. I'm actually recording this a couple of weeks ahead of time because I am going to be away right before this comes out, and I don't know if I would have time. No, in fact, I'm going to be away when this comes out. Let's get my dates straight. And so I won't have time to record anything closer to, so I'm recording this in advance. That's everything I have to say, I think. So without any further delay, let us jump in and see what Pentatonix do with Tears for Fears' Mad World.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
Nice choice starting just with Scott.
Faces, bright and early for the daily races.
Oh, that's nice.
Going nowhere, going nowhere.
Woo!
The
Oh, that
tears are
harmony.
filling up their glasses, knowing Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow,
Oh, I love how they're doing this.
no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda
That
sad.
takeover was
The dreams
perfect.
in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very,
Oh,
very
wow.
mad world. Mad world.
Oh, this is really good.
Waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should sit and listen. Went to school.
The proximity of the harmony is so good.
No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me.
I love what they're doing with the video too.
And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Oh.
I find it hard to tell you. I find it
The
hard
chorus,
to
the backing coming in and out. So good.
It's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world.
Oh, wow. Oh, the layering.
And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad
Oh, the intimacy of this ending. Oh. Oh, they nailed that.
Around me are familiar
Not that I expected otherwise, but
faces,
wow.
worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
Yeah, that's incredible. I was told this had some crazy Mitch and Matt harmonies. You were right. I'm going to thank you in a minute because I forgot to write the names down beforehand, but yeah, you were right. That was extraordinary. Love it. The proximity of the harmonies, the tightness of that arrangement was really strong. The way that they utilized the backing vocals, whoever was singing them at any moment, there's lots of variety there. Oh, this is so good. I'm just going to check the description, and I just want to get the names of those couple of people who recommended this to me earlier, and I'll be right back. Okay, so not a lot of information, which is pretty typical Pentatonix, but I do want to say thank you to Catherine Easteel and to Hawkeye's Coffee, both of whom recommended this to me a very long time ago. This one video a week thing makes it very, very slow for me to get through a backlog that's over 400 recommended items long. That's not even including the ones I want to do for my own interest. So sorry it's taken me a while to get here, but thank you so much. You were absolutely right. The harmonies between Matt and Mitch in this, and the harmonies in general in this, are outstanding. So let's go back and watch it again. I'll see what I can pull out, which I think is going to be quite a lot. I really want to actually talk, before I even talk about the opening shot of Scott, seeing him come into focus in the frame in silence is actually really powerful for this song. I feel like when you have an introduction like this, there's one of two ways that it goes. You start a song like this, that's really soft and tender and deep and meaningful and full of layers, or you come crashing in like a heavy metal band. And I think this is a great choice of introduction for this video. I'm really, really love what they've done with this. It's such a cool way to start.
All around me are familiar faces.
And the choice to start with just one voice, this is such a famous melody line. I feel like even if you don't know the song, you've probably heard this somewhere and would recognize it. This and The Mad World, obviously, you know, that being kind of the chorus. But this is so iconic. And just starting with this, the level of reverb is really nice as well. It fills the sound out a little bit without Scott having to have anybody else present. It's not two voices, it's one voice and the reverb that has been added to it. And it's really, really nice.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
I also like the choice to start with a pure black background. There's no detail, and we're going to get more detail as we go through the video. Very, very impactful, because it means that the singer is the entire focus of what we're looking at. We're not looking anywhere else because there's nothing else to look at, and that's really, really effective. And then we get this lovely crossfade. This, incidentally, was Tears for Fears' first ever music video, and I actually don't know it. I've never seen that music video. I toyed with the idea of watching it before this, but I wanted to go in blind. So I have no idea. I don't think they're aping it, because there was a brief description in the Wikipedia article that I was reading, and it doesn't sound anything like this. But I really like what they're doing, and it is giving an older vibe, these crossfades into other characters. It gives a vibe of sort of editing styles that are, this could be a little 80s, which I really like. It's also contemporary, but it's got that nice retro feel to it too, and I think that's a really smart choice.
Places, worn out faces, bright and early for the...
Coming in with just the bass note again, it keeps it so bare in a really, really good way. I love it. And the amazing intimacy of these close-up shots that we get throughout this video are astonishing. Like, we are so in this moment because you are staring at somebody so up close, and it's great camera work here, and I mean that on both sides of the camera. Staring down a camera and performing, doing anything when you're this close to it, it's, that's great. And then the lovely framing. This is just perfect framing for this shot. We see all the detail we need to see. We're invited into whoever is singing in the moment, and I think everybody at one moment or another has a close-up like this, and it's so... You get wrapped in. This is a song that creeps into your soul when you're not looking, and these camera angles and these close-ups really help with that.
Faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
I am fascinated by the editing of this video, actually, because look at this sequence of shots. We go from Scott, kind of close up. We go, the distance, the use of distance in this. We go to extreme close-up.
For the daily races.
Then we go to wide shot. And this is even more fascinating in some ways because there is nothing in the wide shot. It's so bare. We've gone from this incredible close-up intimacy to loneliness, nothing whatsoever. Especially because Scott's also, well, everybody I think is also wearing black. What's nice is they've lit it so that whoever we're seeing on screen, however many people we're seeing on screen, they stand out, but it's still black on black. It's really cool. And then from here,
going nowhere,
we come back to our close-up again. So we've got this really interesting interplay of distance and proximity and intimacy and the sense of where the performer is in a space. Like right now, we could be having a nice intimate conversation one-on-one with Scott currently. When we get the shot of Matt, where it's almost uncomfortably intimate, and then we suddenly see Scott looking so lonely. I'm obsessed with the way that this is being done. And then from here,
going nowhere.
the way that's done, that it's almost intrusive. And as that's happening, we've seen this already with Kevin. With Matt, excuse me. But we have this crossfade, so Mitch creeps up on us a little bit. This is fascinating. Fascinating. I love it. This is an extraordinary video, and I think they've done exactly what they needed to do to make a really cool video for this song. And I love that we get to see Mitch in full clarity for about a second, and then we cut immediately, and now we're seeing Kirsty. These shifts are really jarring, but they're with the music, so they fit perfectly. Going nowhere. That's the beginning of the next bar, and that's when the cut happens, and we have the and it cuts at that point. So it's perfectly rhythmic. So it's not jarring, even though it kind of is, if that makes any sense at all. And again, we cut to this sort of bust shot, essentially, the head and shoulders. And I think these constant switches keep it so interesting, and yet they're so not subtle exactly, that's the wrong word. They're abrupt, but it's not like we're suddenly cutting to 50 people. We're just cutting to a different person at a slightly different distance, and it's really, really effective. This is genius.
Nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up the...
And the way that Kirsty delivers that, tears are filling, whatever her line is, it's so deadpan, it's so dry, and we're getting emotion from Scott, but everybody else, Mitch, Matt, Kirsty, we're just seeing them. I don't mean this in a negative way at all, but they're effectively going through the motions. That's what their character is doing on screen in that moment. And it's so effective deadpanning it like that.
The tears are filling up the glasses. No expression, no expression.
I love what they're doing here with... okay, first of all, Scott's just killing this. His voice is so good. There's so much emotion. You can feel his emotion even when he's not on screen. And then when you see him, because he's the only one who is emoting, it's so much more powerful. But I also love the way that they're using... The tears are filling here. The whole clustered harmony. Tears are filling... Just very, very subtle. There's a little crescendo in it. Then we cut back to just Scott. And we have that same... And I'm not singing the right notes. I'm just singing something to demonstrate. But you have that sudden crescendo and the cut-off at the end back down. And we do that repeatedly, and it's so effective. Even there... each time we're dropping back a little and rising back up again.
No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No
and we get just a little more as we go through it. There's a little more expression coming in. It's nothing big. It's all still very introverted. And it's so powerful. Even just Kevin's hand coming up, it's a small gesture, but it's an evolution because it's more than was happening previously. Oh, this is fascinating to me. I'm picking up on such small details because so little is happening, and it's really fascinating. Here we see Matt. And you just have the closed eyes and the move, but watch his brow as he's about to fade away. There's a crease in the brow, and it's such a small thing, but there's nothing else to look at. I mean, yes, we're cutting across to Scott, but the eye is drawn to the smallest expression change, and that's why I think this is such a fascinating way to shoot a video, because that tiny change is picked up, which is really cool. Oh, that change is amazing. Tomorrow, no tomorrow. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's doing. Tomorrow. There's like a little extra something, and then, but it's a cutoff. It's a complete cut-off. Immediately Matt takes over. The register is bang on. If you weren't watching this, you could be forgiven for thinking it's the same singer through this section, because they are so close together. This is an amazing transition.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad.
And then all of a sudden we've got this, ooh, everyone's gone higher. The register of that harmony is higher than it was before. So it's telling us we've changed something. We've gone into this chorus now. And so we're hearing something different, because what's happening is different. And notice we've now started to get these shadows coming in behind them as well. And what I think is so cool is the fact that it's their own shadow walking behind them. And this torn kind of after image that we see passing behind them as they walk by is such a cool visual, because it's almost a pattern. And it took me a couple of these to realize that it was being led by the person walking in front. This is so effective.
It kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell.
Oh, and that moment too. So we come back to the second. I find it hard to. The second time around, and we broaden the harmony so much.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad.
All high up, gentle oohs.
Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you.
How wide is that harmony? On top of which, you then add Mitch harmonizing with Matt. The two of their voices together are stunning, but we've got this lovely distance between them as well. And so it's this really haunting... I've come up with the word for it. It's been bugging me since the beginning of this recording. It's ethereal. This is a very ethereal song. This is a very ethereal video, and it's a very ethereal vocal arrangement. And so somebody found that assignment and ran with it. And it's the resulting impact of this entire production is astonishing.
Best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world.
Oh. I love that we come back with Mitch, and he's singing in a higher register, but not that much. You've still got the do-do-do-do-do going on above, which might be where you could expect to find Mitch sometimes, quite comfortably. But the fact that we come into him singing Mad World here low and in a very comfortable place, but it's just, this is so good because it's keeping it fairly tight to the melody we've had up to this point, so it blends smoothly once again between singers. I think this one's a little more obvious that somebody has taken over in terms of vocal quality, but it's still so consistent.
Mad world. Mad
Oh, I love the choice to push that too. The harmony here. 4. Hang on.
run in circles, it's a very, very
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You hear that? The do comes in on 4 and. So it pushes very slightly ahead of the beat.
mad world.
Oh, and the end. Do, 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 do. That last note as well, slightly pushed. Really, really effective because it gives us this slight rhythmic inconsistency that catches the ear, but not so much that it distracts us from what's going on. That's lovely.
Mad world.
Gorgeous.
Children waiting.
I love the aggressive key change. I love we've gone from do, do, do to oh. It's a much more aggressive sound. It really tells us that we're pushing on a little bit. Really, really effective. One other thing I did learn about this while I was looking is the dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had was a lyric that was intended to imply that dreams that have, really extreme situations are more vivid and more memorable and more exciting and more whatever it happens to be. And I think that's a really interesting observation, and I kind of love that that's where this song is sort of partly based. That's an awesome idea.
Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
I love that we've now switched. Now we have Scott and Kirsty singing together. Again, a wonderful pairing. I think they've chosen two really distinct sounding pairings here, but that also blend together exceedingly well. And this really, really nice vocal texture that they've got going on.
Happy birthday, and to feel the way that every child should see.
Ah, lovely use of words too. We've got this, oh, that every child, oh. And it's not even the complete that every child should. It's not the whole line. It's not even a complete fragment of a line. It's just a part of it. That's really, really interesting. When I say complete fragment, I mean it's like half of the thought, but it's not even fully finished. That every child... What? That's really cool. I think that's an interesting choice.
To feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen.
Now, all of a sudden, we're getting a lot more emotion out of Scott in particular, and I love how much that has changed the feeling. Like, we've got this more intense harmony, we've also got this more intense performance coming from Scott, and I think that's a really, really nice choice because it ups the ante of everything that we're listening to right now.
Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew.
Oh, this is so lovely. This harmony here.
I was very nervous.
I think, is everybody singing the lyrics there, and it's given it this crunchy quality? Went to school and I was very nervous. It's a naturally, that's a lyric where it's like, yeah, I get that. That's an unsettling feeling. And the way that the harmony is used there, it's complete, it's full, it's not discordant, but it is unsettling a little bit. And I really like that choice. I think that's great.
And went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me.
And then we drop back to Matt and Mitch again, and we have that lovely ooh harmony coming underneath, but we've broken that thick harmony, that 4 or 5 part harmony, and now we have a 2-part harmony and an accompaniment harmony that goes with it. 2-part melody, 2-part harmonic melody, I guess. That's a really, really nice choice.
No one nervous. No one knew me. No one knew me. Hello, teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look around.
And this choice to go then back to do's, but you've got this long held do. It's not percussive in any way. It's still supporting. There's just those moments where there's a little bit of a refresh of the note where another do comes in, and it just gives us a little bit of rhythmic interest in that harmony line that's going on there. I really like that.
Hello, teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me. Look right through me.
The choice to drop just to Mitch there as well. We've got this lovely duo harmony that we've got set up, but then for Look Right Through Me, and what do we do?
Through me. Look.
We have one of these extremely, slightly uncomfortable, intimate shots going on as he says, look right through me. Like, that's an unsettling command to be given anyway. Look right through me. I'm not here. You can see through me. Do it. Look right through me. That's being told to kind of ignore somebody, essentially. That's a weird thing to do. But to be told it by somebody who's here, effectively, ooh, that's powerful stuff.
Look right through me. Look right through me. And I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. The dreams.
I like that choice too, to have a group. I find it kind of funny, and then just Scott, I find it kind of sad. It changes up how we're hearing this a little bit. I find it kind of funny. You can laugh in a group environment, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to laugh in that moment. And it's easier to be sad when you're on your own. Like that's some really, really nice touches here.
Kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
I love that ah in the background there. It gives this sense of kind of euphoria. It's up in a very kind of and I don't mean this in a bad way, but what's essentially quite a gloomy song. The fact that they've added that sort of wail to the top of the arrangement, it's got a little bit of uplift to it because it pulls everything up with it, just a touch. And I think that's a really, really nice touch for this kind of idea of the euphoria and the adrenaline of a dream that pushes you right to the edge.
Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take.
Oh, I love the way Kirsty sings that. That's really nice. Just a little change in rhythm. I find it hard to take. Not just I find it hard to take. I find it hard to take. Really, really nice touch. Just gives us a little bit more interest again. Because we've had a little bit.
I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Best I've ever had. There's a little best I've ever had. Best I've ever had. There's a little bit of a liberty being taken there already, which means when Kirsty takes a bigger liberty in just a second, it doesn't feel out of place.
I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world.
Oh, the choice to put that into parallel unison is perfect. I really, really love it.
It's a very, very.
It might even be true unison. Is everybody singing the same notes there? I think they might be.
When people run in circles, it's.
I think everybody is singing the same. So parallel unison is where you have people who might be octaves apart, but everybody's singing a C, for example. True unison is when everybody is singing a C4. And I think that's what's happening right here, is I think they're singing all the same notes, and it's such a powerful, powerful thing to do. But then because you don't sing, the song doesn't go, when people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Very, very mad world. There's a big break there, and so it's a perfectly natural place to shift the harmony into the kind of bell chord effect that they go into, and that's so good as well.
A very, very mad world. Mad world.
Ah, this is so, so good. So many things here to love.
In circles, it's a very.
I love that as we're getting also this unison line, we're getting this intimate close-up again of everybody as we rotate.
When people run in circles, it's a very, very.
Yeah, we get all 5 of them through that line. That's really, really powerful. And then we cut in on this, the close-up of Kirsty as we switch. And because she's one of the people who's singing a doo, it's really nice to see her take that shift, especially because the melody does have this beat here where it doesn't happen.
Mad world.
I love that note that Kevin's hit here. That's a really, really nice note to settle onto.
Mad world.
And then the choice to cut in under that with the verse. This is such a good arrangement.
Mad world. Mad world.
And what's so nice is the mad world is clearly the focus. Scott is way up in the mix. He's, starting to get towards more of a belt than a quiet tone of voice. But you can still hear everything clearly that's going on underneath. We've got this lovely wail coming in now from Kirsty. Lots of lovely elements going on here.
Mad world.
Oh, the crunch! Ah, that chord is so good! That is so good! I can't quite figure out what all the notes are there, but there's this lovely crunchy texture there. There is a little bit of discord. Not enough for it to sound dissonant, but it's crunchy, and I really, really like that. That's a lovely place to have that kind of push. And I think this is where I thought it might have ended, because they ended on such a cool chord. And I was like, are they going to leave it like that? And then they carried on, which I'm both sorry about and glad about. I like the fact that they finished it the way they did, but this would have also been a really cool ending. And on that, the sort of exertion sound from Scott, poof, cut to black. And then we come in again on this ridiculously intimate shot of Kirsty. I think this is beautifully done.
And I find it kind of funny.
And you see what I mean? The eyebrows, the subtle shifts in movement. It doesn't have to be a lot when you're this close to somebody. The tiniest little touch of an eyebrow raise, and we see it in full detail. This is why I think they've done such a good job for these close-ups, because they're emoting with so little, and that's great.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Oh, the flicker in the eyelids too. Like this is great. There's so many small details in this, and it's such a powerful shot. This one in particular, because I think it's the longest we stay in one of these extreme close-ups. And it's really, really effective.
The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you.
And then we finally cut away to Kevin. That's... the way society is these days, naturally we don't tend to hold eye contact, or if we do, there's some sort of meaning behind it. And so to have a video that is so heavily focused on these extreme close-ups where you are staring at a person's face, it's incredible. And you start to feel slightly uncomfortable, and there's a secretive quality to it, that you're sharing that moment for so long. And it's so, when you're hearing these lyrics as well, this is so powerful.
I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad.
And this is such an interesting choice here as well. I love this. Listen to Kirsty's it doesn't cut off like they've done previously.
Circles, it's a very, very.
She keeps that very, very mad. She keeps it through, held it through, even while the harmony does the thing we're used to of this and comes back in again on the do's. We have this continuance this time. Changes it up. It's an evolution. It's something different.
Mad world. Mad world.
Oh, I got shivers. Ah, that's so good. I love that we come back in again on this. Here we come back in on the very, very tight close-up of Kirsty again. We've just got away from... Not that there's any reason to want to get away from it, because it's a video, and it's not like we're making two people making each other feel awkward if you catch someone's eye on the subway or something. But even so, this is intense. And we've moved away from that, and then it comes right back again immediately after that break, and I think that is so powerful. World. Really, lovely choice of voicing here. Mad world, world, world. World, maybe. I can't quite figure out the notes there, but there's a lovely voicing there, and it's bracketing this gorgeous baritone note that Matt hits here. World. It's nothing extreme. We're ending in a lower register, but it's not world, it's a very comfortable note, it's not world, or something like that. We're not dropping down into somebody's boots, we're not ending up in the rafters. There's supporting notes that widen the breadth, but we've ended in a very simple place, and I think that is absolutely delightful and exactly what this arrangement needs. That is so well put together on every single front. That's incredible. Yeah, that was truly fantastic. That is up there with one of my favorite Pentatonix arrangements and performances, I think. They just absolutely spot on in every possible way throughout that. I think the harmony, the use of voicing, the effectiveness of that video, it all comes together to form. The parts are already so strong, and then the whole is stronger still. And that's absolutely wonderful. That spot on for what I would hope for a Pentatonix arrangement of that song. I hope that you enjoyed that as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the time that you spend with me. It means a lot, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. Hopefully I was able to bring you something. If it was Pentatonix, goodness, go and check them out. They're incredible. That seems unlikely. I feel like most people know who they are. If it was this song, great. Check this out. If you've never heard, or if you've only heard this version, go and check out Tears for Fears, and Gary Jules for that matter, but the Tears for Fears version is wonderful. Or maybe you've seen this 100 times, and hopefully I was able to bring something that made you go, oh, that's really cool, I'd never seen that before. That's what I'm trying to do here, and if I've succeeded, I will be a very happy man. I think that's everything for this week. As I say, I'm away right now, so if I've missed anything that came up, my apologies. I will catch up when I can. But there'll be another video coming next week. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you would care to support me, you can do so in one of three ways. You can head to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can make a donation of any amount, and you can actually use that to contribute towards me getting a Premiere Pro subscription so that I can continue the quality of my editing. Somehow, and I'm hoping this holds true for this video, somehow, even though my license has expired, I still have had access to Premiere for a couple of weeks longer than I was expecting. So I am still, I hope, using it to edit, but it's going to run out soon, and I will want to be able to get that back when I can. So that's why I'm asking for assistance with that, if you would care to do so. You could also head to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, where you can sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian, or your regional equivalent. That will get your name up with the wonderful list of people. If it's not up now, it will be in a second. It also gives you access to my Discord, where, as long as I've done the editing in enough time to know that YouTube is accepting my video, you will find out early what the next reaction is going to be. I've also got a complete list there of every reaction I've ever done, in case you want to have a glance and see what's there. And you could also leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very gratefully appreciated if you would choose to do them, but there is no pressure to do so. I think that's it, so take care, have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime. Let's go for, what time have I not selected before? Let's go for 12:03 p.m. See if someone's watching this in the middle of the day. But yeah, I still don't know why I still do this. I have got close. I got very, very close a couple of times. But yes, thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.